Hey everybody, hope you're all having a fantastic day, and if not, well, I hope that in some small way I can help make it better. Welcome back to the month of Mech, or Mech Month, or Mecha Month, whatever you want to call it. All month it's going to be videos of me drawing robots. Some in high detail, some for fun, some somewhere in between. Anyway, this one falls more into the category of highly detailed, realistic, piloted machine thing robot. Probably would fit into a more grim and gritty story. And you may have noticed that it kind of hopped and skipped a little bit. It's because I forgot to record the part where I draw the preliminary sketch. Anyway, so the idea behind this was like, I had been inspired by these like Lego mechs. They were like fan creations. What are they called? Mocks, my own creation. But I had seen this series of like these piloted mechs that they weren't like huge, like Gundam scale. They were like, probably 15 feet tall at the most, but they were just like these armored, just beasts of metal. Like the pilot would go in the middle, and then so I wanted to draw inspiration from that. Actually, I tried building my own Lego because I had this idea that I wanted to do, and then I thought, this is hard, and I don't have that many Lego pieces, so why don't I draw it instead? So I started drawing this guy, and it kind of evolved as with every drawing. I have like an idea in my head, and then as I'm drawing, it evolves and changes. But this one, I really like this one, and surprisingly, this one was not as hard to detail as another drawing, the Angel of War, which you'll see in another video. I just kind of, just crazy fast sketch in detail and stuff. It still took me a long time to do, but the detailing was a lot quicker because I had the experience of doing it on the previous drawing. But yeah, one thing that these armored suits basically had were like, some of them would have swords or guns or something, so I thought, oh, that'd be cool. Just it's basically this like machine, like piece of military hardware equipment. It's like a tank on legs, but it has a sword. How cool is that? It's just, I can be like really detailed and like, sort of realistic. I mean, having a big mech's not really that realistic to begin with. Otherwise, the actual military would be using them. But you never know. Sci-fi paves the way to science fact or whatever, They used to make movies about us going to the moon, and then we actually did. So maybe one day I'm still hoping for, robot battles and stuff in real life. Anyway, so yeah, just giving it a big old gun on one arm and then like a sword it can grab on the other. I really liked going for the more like kind of hunched over, like just super armored shell look, and excuse me. The canopy, I think, is kind of inspired a little bit by like some Lego canopy things. The wind turbine, not wind turbine. Yeah, I guess the jet turbine in its back. I thought maybe that helps like power it. But I wanted to give it kind of like sort of like an industrial, like military hardware look to it. I think I haven't seen them in a while. It's been a while since I watched the James Cameron Avatar, the Blue People, not the beloved animation. I guess that's also mostly an animated film. Anyway, I remember they drove mechs, and I seem to remember they looked similar to this, kind of, but I don't know. I also kind of thought that, like, the way that the canopy, the main, like, cabin, or the pilot, the cockpit for the pilot of the mech, kind of extruded out like a head, like the head of a robot mech. So it kind of, when I was designing like the headlights, I gave it headlights because I thought, oh, well, they need to see. But I also took into consideration character design, like kind of making it human almost. Like the headlights are almost like the eyes, and then the cockpit's like the skull or something. I don't know. It's got sort of a nose with like the front grill thing. And then I decided, like, maybe this is looking a little insect-like with the wings, the way that I did the wings and the way that I did the shells on the shoulders. Maybe this is a little insect-like, so I gave it like little mandible things underneath its chin, but it kind of looks more like a beard, which kind of reminds me of Revenge of the Fallen Jetfire. But anyway, the wings, I decided to kind of make it a little bit insect-like. So it's kind of interesting because it's this big hulking thing, and, but then it's also insect-like, which you think is like, kind of long and spindly little arms or something, but there can be, like, if you've seen like the rhinoceros beetle or something, just get this like massive shell, stuff like that. The jet turbine I put in it, maybe that's like a power source, or maybe it can actually like fly, that's why it's got like the wings. But yeah, I don't know. I really like this this mech design, how it turned out. I'm pretty happy with it. It was a lot of fun to sort of design. Now the background, as you can see, I'm starting to design that, and my idea was like, because originally the concepts I was looking at from the Lego thing reminded me of stuff that you might see like in some sort of cyberpunk, like in a big city, that like the machine, like the police drive these big mechs. Like there's this one anime on my watch list I haven't gotten to yet, but it looks pretty neat. Patlabor. And from what I gather, it's like, the police use these mechs, so I was thinking of something kind of like that. But I thought, we always see them in like cyberpunk city or something like that, or some sort of dystopian futuristic city or something. What if we just like put it somewhere where you don't see mechs as often? You know, like somewhere out in like Africa, or you know, the some sort of Pacific island or something like that. You know, or some place way out where it's not so like developed cities or something like that. You know, like it's not so new tech. You know, it's a nice juxtaposition. Something to make anything in art stand out is juxtaposition. You put something there that like normally doesn't belong. However, thinking about the weird places that like wars go to, this piece of military hardware, and the more military this started looking rather than like urban law enforcement, the more it actually kind of seemed to fit in a weird way. Like these two things, you know, you got like this little grass hut or whatever, and you know, this guy, I don't know what he's doing at this table, like selling water and a plate or something. I don't know. And then just this heavily mechanized robot thing. You know, you wouldn't immediately think these two things go together, but the more like military I made this thing look, that it made a weird symbiosis where they like went together pretty well, I think. I don't know, I really like how this one turned out, but yeah, I showed it to my brother, and he says he got at the vibe. You know, I kind of like the way I drew this was, you know, I kind of made it. I was trying to make it like the big robot was kind of like looking under the tent, like, ooh, what's this? You know, it's kind of, you know, even though it's big and imposing, it's actually kind of, you know, it's kind of I wouldn't say friendly, but not as dangerous as you might think. I don't know, like going up to the but my brother was saying, like, you know, oh, it's like the drug cartel got a hold of this big old weapon or something. There's gonna be like a family feud or something over the weapon, and it's like, oh, okay. That's an interesting story. Yeah, I can see that too, but I really liked how the monotone, like when I first colored it, that metallic blue, when it was just like solidly just that color. I kind of like the way it looked. It reminds me of certain types of comics or something, that where they just like color one thing in one solid color for whatever reason. But yeah. But no, it looks really good when it's just when it's actually like color coded the way it is now. Yeah, you can see me messing with some of the layers there. Trying to add a little shading here and there to it. Kind of mostly did the shading for this in just cross-hatching, various forms of cross-hatching. But anyway, this one was a very enjoyable one to work on. It was an interesting concept and a nice silhouette and image to work with. And yeah, I hope you join us for. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I hope you join us for the rest of Mecha Month, whatever. And I'm gonna see about having some co-hosts in some special guest stars in the future. So we will see you later. Have a good day. Bye.